Good afternoon. This is All India Radio. I am Valsa Williams and with me is Abhishek Mukhopadhyay with the Midday News. The headlines. Government approves over 1 crore 1 lakh houses under Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana Urban till date. More than 8 lakh beneficiaries get COVID-19 vaccine across the country. Karnataka leads with over 1 lakh inoculations. Nation's COVID-19 recovery rate reaches 96.75%. Full Election Commission team reviews poll preparedness for upcoming assembly polls in West Bengal, meets representatives of political parties. Meghalaya, Manipur and Tripura celebrate their statehood day today. President, Vice President and Prime Minister greet the people. First, Khelo India Zanskar Winter Sports Festival begins in Ladakh. And Sensex breaches 50,000 mark for the first time. As the nation fights the COVID-19 pandemic, we begin with a message of precaution to stay safe and protected by following these 3 simple steps. Wear a face mask, maintain 2 gaz ki duri for social distancing, focus on hand and face hygiene. And now the news in detail. The Union Government has said that more than 1 crore 1 lakh houses have been approved under Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana Urban till date. The construction of more than 70 lakh houses is in various stages and more than 41 lakh houses have been completed. Housing and Urban Affairs Ministry said the construction of 1,68,606 new houses have been approved in the 52nd meeting of the Central Sanctioning and Monitoring Committee under the scheme. The ministry said 14 states and union territories participated in this meeting. Speaking on the occasion, Secretary in Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs Durga Shankar Mishra urged the states and UTs to strategize the expeditious implementation of PMAYU projects. He said progress under the mission has been steady and there is a need to move towards completion of houses with all the basic physical and social infrastructure. Health and Family Welfare Minister Dr. Harshvardhan has said the COVID-19 vaccines are completely safe and effective and these vaccines will prove to be the last nail in the coffin of the COVID-19 disease. While releasing the communication creative prepared by Health and Family Welfare Ministry to address issues related to vaccine hesitancy, Dr. Harshvardhan said adverse events or side effects are common and they surface after any vaccination. He stressed that 2 indigenous vaccines have been authorized after sufficient scientific scrutiny, human trials and identifying the efficacy. He said several countries are approaching India to export these vaccines to their country. Urging on the need to counter the misinformation about the COVID-19 vaccines, the minister said vaccines have played a critical role in the past in controlling various diseases like chickenpox and polio. He said it is unfortunate that some people are spreading misinformation about the vaccines, which has developed vaccine hesitancy in a few people. He said the power of truth is unbeatable, and with the help of this power, India successfully fought against the COVID-19 pandemic. Head of Urology and Renal Transplant at Safdarjung Hospital, New Delhi, Dr. Anup Kumar says the vaccine for coronavirus is safe and asked people not to pay attention to rumours. Talking to AIR News, Dr. Anup Kumar said he himself has taken the shot and he is feeling absolutely normal as there are no side effects of the vaccine.
I have received my first dose of vaccine against coronavirus. I am absolutely normal and had no side effect. Both vaccines made in India are absolutely safe and efficacious. Please don't listen to any rumors and don't have any doubt about safety of these vaccines. After receiving these vaccines, your chance of getting coronavirus infection will be reduced significantly. Let's work together and help Government of India in this battle against COVID-19. Whenever you get any call for vaccine, please go and get yourself vaccinated. Thank you.
Union Government has said that more than 8,06,000 beneficiaries have been vaccinated for COVID-19 till today across the country. The Health Ministry said during the last 24 hours, 1,31,649 people were vaccinated across 2,398 sessions. The ministry said more than 14,000 sessions have been conducted so far. Karnataka stands at the top position with over 1,21,000 inoculations, followed by Andhra Pradesh with over 91,000 and Telangana over 69,000. Additional Health Secretary Dr. Manohar Agnani said there were no cases of any serious or severe adverse event following immunization (AEFIs) attributable to vaccination reported till date in the country. Dr. Agnani also informed that the CoWIN software has also been enhanced and a new feature has been added in the ongoing session.
कोविन सॉफ्टवेयर उसमें भी हम संशोधन करते जा रहे हैं और एक नया फीचर इसमें हमने ऐड किया है जिसको हम अलॉट बेनिफिशियरी है जो पहले से ही ऑनगोइंग सेशंस है उसमें इसको जोड़ा है। इसका उद्देश्य ये है कि हम अधिकतम लोगों को जोड़ सकें और हमारी जो कवरेज है वो बेहतर हो सके, लेकिन जो बेनिफिशियरीज ऑलरेडी रजिस्टर्ड हैं डेटाबेस में उन्हीं के लिए ये सुविधा है। और इस इन्हांसमेंट में हमने ये भी प्रावधान किया है कि यदि किसी व्यक्ति का नाम तलाश न हो तो डेटाबेस में उसके मोबाइल नंबर के माध्यम से खोजा जा सकता है।
India started the supply of COVID vaccine to its neighboring and key partner countries. India yesterday dispatched the COVID vaccines to Bhutan and Maldives under Vaccine Maitri initiative. External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar said that the Vaccine Maitri has begun and the consignment reached Bhutan. Mr. Jaishankar said it is another example of country's neighborhood first policy. Bhutan's Foreign Minister Tandi Dorji expressed profound gratitude to India for the generous gift of 150,000 doses of Covishield vaccine developed by the Serum Institute of India SII. Mr. Dorji thanked India for its abiding friendship and unconditional support to Bhutan's fight against the COVID-19 pandemic. Maldives Foreign Minister Abdullah Shahid said the country is happy to receive as grant 1 lakh doses of SII developed Covishield. Mr. Shahid said, as always, India stands strong and steadfast with Maldives as the first responder in any crisis. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh has said that the government has started supplying COVID vaccines to the neighbouring countries and the vaccines will be provided to other countries across the world if the need arises. Addressing the NCC cadets at the NCC camp in New Delhi today, Mr. Singh said, our scientists have developed 2 COVID-19 vaccines and following the concept of world is family, India is extending help to other countries. The Defence Minister said Prime Minister Narendra Modi has decided to expand National Cadet Corps and the government has identified more than 1,100 schools wherein the NCC training will begin.
The country's COVID-19 recovery rate has reached 96.75%. More than 19,000 COVID patients recovered during the last 24 hours. According to the Health Ministry, the total number of recoveries has gone up to over 1,265,000. The actual caseload currently comprises only 1.81% of the total positive cases. Presently, the total number of active cases in the country is 1,92,000. During the past 24 hours, 15,223 new cases were reported, taking the total number of positive cases to over 1,06,00,000. The ministry said currently India's case fatality rate is at 1.44%, which is one of the lowest globally. During the last 24 hours, 151 deaths were reported, taking the toll to 1,52,869. The number of COVID-19 tests conducted in the national capital has crossed the 1 crore mark today. Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal has termed it as a new record. He said with a focus on increased testing and treatment, Delhi has successfully contained the scale and spread of corona infection. The positivity rate in the national capital stood at 0.36%. A total of 228 new confirmed cases of coronavirus infection were reported in Delhi during the last 24 hours, taking the total number of cases to over 6,33,000.
In Madhya Pradesh, more than 28,000 people have been given COVID vaccine at 150 centres across the state. More from a correspondent.
COVID vaccination is being done in the state on 4 days a week on Monday, Wednesday, Thursday and Saturday. On the first 2 days, 16th and 18th January, around 18,000 people were vaccinated and till 20th January, around 9,600 people were vaccinated. Chief Minister Mr. Chauhan, while reviewing the condition of COVID-19 and vaccination, said that the COVID vaccination work in the state is smooth. All who are vaccinated are perfectly healthy. Meanwhile, 280 new positive cases were reported on Wednesday, while 997 recovered from COVID infection. Pooja P. Vardhan, AIR News, Bhopal.
In Bihar, nearly 55% of the registered healthcare workers took COVID-19 vaccine in 3 days. In all, 47,402 people have been vaccinated so far. Health Minister Mangal Pandey said healthcare workers have been given the vaccine in the first phase. Frontline workers will be the next, followed by those above 50 years or those below 50, but with comorbidity. After these preferred groups, common people will be given vaccines. Mr. Pandey said registration of people of above 50 years people will begin from next month and vaccination of this group will start from March this year. The 2 crore people of this group will be registered. In Gujarat, the number of fresh cases of COVID-19 is constantly reducing. According to the State Health Department, the recovery rate is further improved to 96.07%. More from a correspondent.
Gujarat has recorded 490 new cases of COVID-19. The total number of COVID-19 cases detected so far in Gujarat has reached up to 2,57,042. Out of these, 2,47,223 patients recovered. 707 patients discharged from the hospitals after the recovery during the past 24 hours. Maximum 105 new cases reported from Ahmedabad, while Surat recorded 98 new cases. At present, total active cases in the state are 5,748. 2 patients died yesterday, taking the total deaths due to COVID-19 up to 4,371. Yogesh Pandya, AR News, Ahmedabad.
Telangana reported 226 fresh COVID cases during the past 24 hours. With this, the total number of COVID cases reported in the state has gone up to 2,92,621. In Mizoram, 12 new positive cases of COVID-19 were recorded, with a recovery of 10 patients during the past 24 hours. With this declining trend, the recovery rate of COVID-19 has improved to 98.71% in the state. In Jharkhand, the second consignment of 1,72,000 doses of COVID vaccine Covishield was received at Birsa Munda Airport in Ranchi. With this, the supply of COVID vaccine doses for health workers registered for the first phase has been completed. More from our correspondent.
With the arrival of the second consignment of Covishield vaccine in Jharkhand, the second set of doses to be given to the registered 1.5 lakh health workers in the first phase of the COVID vaccination drive has been completed. National Rural Health Mission Director Ravi Shankar Shukla confirmed to AIR News that the vaccine doses have been provided to all 24 districts in the state. After the 4th day of the COVID vaccination drive, a total of 11,641 people have been vaccinated. 49% of the registered beneficiaries in Jharkhand have been vaccinated and there are no reports of any side effects reported till today. The State Health Department has informed that preparations for vaccinating more than 2 lakh frontline workers targeted to be vaccinated in the second phase is going on. The 5th day of the vaccination drive will begin on Friday. Shilpi, AIR News, Ranchi.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi has congratulated Joe Biden on his assumption of office as the President of the United States. In a series of tweets, Mr. Modi said he looks forward to working with him to strengthen India-US strategic partnership. He also extended best wishes to the new President for a successful term in leading US as we stand united and resilient in addressing common challenges and advancing global peace and security. Prime Minister also congratulated new US Vice President Kamala Harris. He said it is a historic occasion. Joe Biden took oath as the 46th President of the United States of America at a scaled-back ceremony in the U.S. Capitol building in Washington last night that was largely stripped of his usual pomp due to the coronavirus and security concerns. In his first speech as U.S. President, Mr. Biden vowed to defeat political extremism and white supremacy.
This is America's day. This is democracy's day. A day of history and hope, of renewal and resolve. Through a crucible for the ages, America has been tested anew, and America has risen to the challenge. Today, we celebrate the triumph not of a candidate, but of a cause, the cause of democracy. The people, the will of the people, has been heard, and the will of the people has been heeded. We've learned again that democracy is precious. Democracy is fragile. At this hour, my friends, democracy has prevailed.
His deputy Kamala Harris was also sworn in as the 49th Vice President of the country. You are listening to the Midday News on All India Radio. A reminder of the headlines before we move on. Government approves over 1 crore 1 lakh houses under Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana Urban till date. More than 8 lakh beneficiaries get COVID-19 vaccine across the country. Karnataka leads with over 1 lakh inoculations. Nation's COVID-19 recovery rate reaches 96.75%. Full Election Commission team reviews poll preparedness for upcoming assembly polls in West Bengal, meets representatives of political parties. Meghalaya, Manipur and Tripura celebrate the Statehood Day today. President, Vice President and Prime Minister greet the people. First Khelo India Janskar Winter Sports Festival begins in Ladakh and Sensex breaches 50,000 mark for the first time. For quick news updates around the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle at AIR News Alerts.
Welcome back to the Midday News. The full bench of the Election Commission of India, ECI, is on a 3-day visit to West Bengal to review preparedness for the ensuing assembly polls. The team, comprising Chief Election Commissioner Sunil Arora and Election Commissioners Sushil Chandra and Rajiv Kumar, is holding a series of review meetings today. They met with the nodal officers of police, the ADG Law and Order. The representatives of the recognized political parties have also met the team and placed their demands before the Commission. After meeting the ECI, the President of the State Unit of BJP, Dilip Ghosh, told reporters that they have asked the Commission to send central forces well ahead so that the voters feel safe and confident and can cast their vote fearlessly. More from our correspondent.
Amid pandemic situation, conducting free, fair and peaceful polling remains the focus of the Election Commission of India. The full bench of the ECI is stressing to keep the entire process of the ensuing assembly election in West Bengal free of violence. The Chief Election Commissioner is said to have set the expectation clearly before the State Nodal Officer of Police this morning. In the last general election in 2019 and the State Assembly election in 2016, series of poll-related violence had ached the Commission. The Deputy Election Commissioner Sudeep Jain, on his back-to-back visits in the state, had asked the poll officials and the district administration to keep strict vigil and send reports to the ECI on a regular basis. Political leaders of the opposition parties have also requested the Commission to give instruction to related officials and agencies to ensure free, fair and peaceful polling. Madhuparna Dhaur Chaudhary, AIR News, Kolkata.
In Karnataka, the portfolios were allocated to the newly inducted members of the state cabinet today, days after the recent expansion. Chief Minister B.S. Yediyurappa has also made changes in the portfolios of some ministers. Legislative Affairs Minister J.C. Madhuswamy has now been given Medical Education and Kannada and Culture. Dr. K. Sudhakar held both Health and Medical Education departments earlier. The Home Minister, Basavaraj Bommai, has been given additional charge of Legislative Affairs. The senior BJP leader, Umesh Katti, has been given Food and Civil Supplies, while S. Angara has been given Fisheries, Ports and Inland Transport, and Arvind Limbavali, the Forest Department. The full dress rehearsal for the Republic Day Parade will be held at Rajpath on Saturday. Delhi Police has made elaborate traffic arrangements for smooth conduct of the parade along the route. The parade rehearsal will start at 9:50 a.m. from Vijay Chowk and will proceed to National Stadium. The parade will pass through Rajpath, Amar Jawan Jyoti, India Gate, Sea Hexagon to National Stadium. Briefing reporters in New Delhi today, Joint Commissioner of Police Traffic Manish Kumar Agarwal said no traffic will be allowed on Vijay Chowk from 6 p.m. tomorrow till the end of the parade on the 23rd of January. Delhi Metro rail services will remain available for the commuters at all metro stations during the full dress rehearsal. However, boarding and deboarding at Central Secretariat and Udyog Bhavan will not be allowed till 12 noon.
President, Vice President and Prime Minister greeted the people of Meghalaya, Manipur and Tripura on the occasion of the Statehood Day today. In his message, President Ramnath Kovind said, "Blessed with immense natural beauty, rich history and vibrant culture, these states are fascinating." Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu said, "These northeastern states have retained a special place in India and have shown the way to the rest of the country through the natural diet and healthy lifestyle." Prime Minister Narendra Modi said the culture and warm-hearted nature of the people of Tripura is admired across India. The state has achieved outstanding progress in various fields. He said India is proud of Manipur's contribution to national development. Manipur is a powerhouse of innovation and sporting talent. Mr. Modi said Meghalaya is known for its remarkable kindness and spirit of brotherhood. Youngsters from Meghalaya are creative and enterprising. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will visit Assam and West Bengal on Saturday. He will address the Parakram Divas celebrations to commemorate the 125th birth anniversary year of Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose. He will preside over the inaugural function of the Parakram Divas celebrations at Victoria Memorial in Kolkata. Prime Minister will also visit Jerenga Pathar in Shivsagar, Assam to distribute 1,06,000 land pattas and allotment certificates. The issuance of patta and allotment certificates for indigenous people of Assam has been given highest priority to instill a sense of security amongst them. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will address the 18th convocation of Tezpur University, Assam at 10:30 a.m. tomorrow through video conferencing. The event will witness the conferring of degrees and diplomas upon 1,218 students who passed out in 2020. Among the degree recipients, 48 toppers of various undergraduate and postgraduate programs will be awarded gold medals.
The 10th round of talks between the central government and 41 farmers' unions was held at Vigyan Bhavan in New Delhi yesterday. The meeting was attended by Union Agriculture Minister Narendra Singh Tomar, Commerce and Industry Minister Piyush Goyal and Minister of State for Commerce and Industry Som Prakash and representatives of farmers' unions. The next round of talks between the central government and farmers' unions will be held on the 22nd of January. Addressing media in New Delhi after the meeting, Agriculture Minister Narendra Singh Tomar said during the discussion the government has proposed to the farmer unions that the implementation of farm laws should be kept on hold for a period of 1 to 1.5 years.
हमने विस्तार पूर्वक उन्हें कहा कि कानूनों पर विचार करना है और आंदोलन से जुड़े विभिन्न पहलुओं पर विचार करना है। तो निश्चित रूप से समय तो चाहिए और समय चाहिए तो वो समय 6 महीने का भी हो सकता है, 1 साल का भी हो सकता है, 1.5 साल का भी हो सकता है और सरकार 1-1.5 साल तक भी कानून के क्रियान्वयन को स्थगित करने के लिए सहमत है। इस दौरान किसान और सरकार के प्रतिनिधि मिलकर समस्याओं का हल खोजें और जो समाधान हो उस समाधान को आगे बढ़ाया जाए।
The union government has rejected a news wherein it is claimed that Kisan credit card loan will be available at 12% interest rate instead of 7%. Press Information Bureau of Government of India has termed this claim as fake, saying the government has not made any such announcement regarding increasing the interest rate of Kisan credit card loan. Union Minister for Fisheries Dr. Giriraj Singh has said the centre has invested 27,000 crore rupees for schemes relating to blue economy. Laying the foundation stone for the aquatic quarantine facility at Aquatic Animal Quarantine Centre at Padapai, the minister said the ornamental fish export amounts to 1 lakh crore rupees. He said that the government will soon be launching a pilot project of cage culture fishing facility at Rameshwaram.
केज कल्चर के माध्यम से रिस्क लेस होगा क्योंकि जब हमारे फिशरमैन डीप सी में जाते हैं, साइक्लोन आता है, रिस्क लेते हैं और छोटी बोट जिनकी आमदनी बहुत लेस है 1.25 to 1.5 लाख एवरी ईयर, अब केज कल्चर से उनकी आमदनी दुगना होगा। हमने सी बीट को भी सेंटर तमिलनाडु को माना है और सी बीट एक तरफ से जैसे ऑर्नामेंटल फिश में महिलाओं को रोजगार मिलेगा, पुरुषों को रोजगार मिलेगा, दूसरी तरफ हम एक्सपोर्ट करेंगे।
Union Minister for Petroleum, Natural Gas and Steel Dharmendra Pradhan inaugurated the first small-scale LNG supply infrastructure of Shell Energy India at its LNG terminal at Hazira in Gujarat yesterday. This will now augment Shell's natural gas supply offerings in India to include supply of LNG via trucks. After virtual inauguration, Mr. Pradhan complimented Shell for the efforts in expanding the LNG infrastructure in the country. He said clean, affordable and reliable energy is the need of the growing population and a key priority of the Modi government. A large-scale joint military exercise Kavach, involving assets of the Indian Army, Indian Navy, Indian Air Force and Indian Coast Guard will be conducted in the coming week under the aegis of the Andaman and Nicobar Command. Defence Ministry said the exercise involves synergized application of maritime surveillance assets, coordinated air and maritime strikes, air defence, submarine and landing operations. The joint force will execute multi-domain, high-intensity offensive and defensive maneuvers in the Andaman Sea and Bay of Bengal.
The producers and directors participating in the ongoing International Film Festival of India at Panaji are feeling grateful that despite the pandemic effect, organizers conducted the event successfully. The festival that commenced on the 16th of January will conclude on the 24th of January. More from our correspondent.
Shurveer Tyagi, the director of the Indian Panorama non-feature film Jadoo, said that the society plays a much larger role than that of the parent and teachers in shaping a child. The responsibility of grooming a child is not limited to parent or teacher but the whole society, he added. He portrays this message aptly in a story One on the friendship of two children. Mr. Tyagi said besides education and learning, there are many things which are needed to be imbibed in a child, which forms the undercurrent of the film. Besides the regular activities at the IFFI, utmost care is taken to ensure the cleanliness and sanitization at the venues in the wake of health protocol and safety norms. With the Mukesh Thali, Tushar Jadhav for AR News from Panji, Goa.
In Ladakh, the Union Sports and Youth Affairs Minister Kiren Rijiju launched the first ever Khelo India Zanskar Winter Sports Festival at Padum in Zanskar of Kargil district. The festival is being organized by the Ladakh UT administration to promote Zanskar as winter tourist destination. The main features of the 13-day festival are ice climbing, trekking on frozen Zanskar River, ice hockey, snow sculpture and ethnic food festival. Our correspondent has filed this report.
Addressing the inaugural function of the Khelo India Zanskar Winter Sport and Youth Festival, Union Minister Kiren Rijiju said that the ministry will provide sports facilities in all regions of Ladakh. He said the ministry will promote Ladakh as a center for ice hockey and soon open a center for archery and polo in two areas in the region. Zanskar Winter Sport and Youth Festival is being introduced as an annual event in Zanskar to showcase its potential in adventure tourism and sport. It is one of the major events planned to promote winter tourism in Ladakh. Lieutenant Governor Ladakh R.K. Mathur and the Ladakh Member Parliament Jamil Singh Namgyal, Chief Executive Councillor of Ladakh Autonomous Hill Development Council Leh Tashi Galson also attended the inaugural function of the festival. The festival will end on 31st of this month. With Ramesh Chandra, this is Yangchan Dolma for Air News from Leh Ladakh.
At the stock markets, the Sensex jumped 334 points or 0.7% to hit 50,000 mark for the first time in its history and was trading at 50,126 in afternoon trade a short while ago. The Nifty at the National Stock Exchange climbed 96 points or 0.7% to trade at a record high of 14,740. Talking to All India Radio, market expert Puneet Jain explains the factors behind the surge in the market.
Today, the Indian stock market have crossed record highs and the Bombay Sensitive Index crossed the landmark figure of 50,000, which has nearly doubled in the last 9 months, representing huge gain for investors. I think it represents rising confidence in India's economic story and the confidence that it holds the future growth for the economy. In these 9 months, we have seen a very good revival in some sectors of economy, like real estate, metals, banking, cement, information technology. All these factors are contributing to rise that we see in investors' confidence. And my own expectation is that the forthcoming budget will give further strength to this rally, and we will see much better future for the economy and for the stock market over the next couple of years.
Now let us take a look at the weather update for the day. Srinagar also witnessed clear sky becoming partly cloudy towards afternoon or evening. The minimum temperature was -7 degrees Celsius and the maximum will be around 9 degrees. In Jammu, the minimum temperature was 6 degrees Celsius while the maximum will be around 19 degrees. Leh and Gilgit will have partly cloudy sky. Muzaffarabad will have mainly clear sky becoming partly cloudy towards afternoon or evening. Dehradun experienced fog in the morning and will have mainly clear sky later. Chandigarh also witnessed fog in the morning and will have clear sky later. National capital Delhi experienced a shallow fog in the morning. The Mumbai will have mainly clear sky.
And now before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Government approves over 1 crore 1 lakh houses under Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana Urban till date. More than 8 lakh beneficiaries get COVID-19 vaccine across the country. Karnataka leads with over 1 lakh inoculations. Nation's COVID-19 recovery rate reaches 96.75%. Full Election Commission team reviews poll preparedness for upcoming assembly polls in West Bengal, meets representatives of political parties. Meghalaya, Manipur, Tripura celebrates their statehood day today. President, Vice President and Prime Minister greets the people. First Khelo India Zanskar Winter Sports Festival begins in Ladakh, and Sensex breaches 50,000 mark for the first time. And with that we end the midday news.